What's going on? My name is Jason Parks of the Media Captain. Today I'm going to talk about Google My Business optimization. Now it's Google Business Profile, but everybody still refers to it as Google My Business. I'm going to walk you through a step-by-step process of how to improve your Google My Business page. And obviously the goal here is if you're appearing in the local pack where there's only 3 businesses that populate, and if you're appearing in this section, that can drive more leads for your business, more website traffic, more leads. It's very coveted space. So let's dive in how to optimize your Google Business Profile. So just to give you a visual representation of Google My Business and the local pack. So, I did a search for Columbus Marketing Agency, and at the top you see the sponsored ads. That's obviously Google pay per click. And boom, right there in a very prominent position is the local pack. Those reviews, they really pop. And so because the placement is so high on Google and because there are reviews, which is a trust indicator, a lot of people click on this and then either go to the website or call the business directly. So you can see that the number of reviews, how many years in business, the address of the business, the hours of operation, and whether there's on-site or online appointments. So there's a lot of information, and it's really important to get your business to populate there. In terms of managing your Google My Business page, one other thing that I want to point out, now Google My Business can be managed directly on Google's interface. So here you'll see I did a branded search for the Media Captain, and all of this information, because I'm logged into the Gmail account associated with my Google My Business page, you can see here that I can edit the profile, I can respond to reviews here. So I just want to point out that when I'm talking about optimizing your Google My Business page, it's important to know where you can actually make edits, and that is directly within a Google search. Search for your brand name and make sure you're logged into the Gmail account associated with your GMB page. All right, let's talk about the name of your business and keywords in the title of your Google My Business page. This is something that gets a lot of attention, so I just want to address it first and foremost. Here's a search for Columbus Locksmith. You'll see everybody that's populating in the local pack has Columbus within their name, and they have locksmith within their name. I'm recording this video in 2023. In 2021 and beforehand, it used to be where you could just game the system, throw keywords into your business title, and that would help you rank on Google. Google is getting more strict on this. They are putting much less weight on name within the business title. So I would not recommend doing this. If you just change your business name to something that's not legitimate, a competitor could report you and your whole profile could get suspended. And like I mentioned, there's less weight attributed to it. So if you're starting a business from scratch, possibly it's a good idea to include a keyword in your title, or if you're doing a rebrand, but I would not advise this. So I just wanted to address the business title first and foremost. It is still a ranking factor, as you can see, but it is less prominent than it used to be. Next, I want to dive into the proximity of your business. This is really important in terms of your Google My Business ranking, yet I would say it's undercovered in the local SEO world. It doesn't get enough attention. So I'm going to give you an example of the Media Captain, and I think this is going to give you a really good visual representation. So our agency is located in Columbus, Ohio. We try and get a lot of leads from our Google My Business page locally. You can see here that our office, our physical location, is center radius of the city. So we are literally in downtown Columbus, and I strategically picked our office this way for local SEO, and I'm going to kind of explain my thought process to you. So Google credits, they give value when you are located centrally in the city. But it's not for all businesses, for a marketing agency, for a law firm, for a CPA, for a service-based business. They really take the entire city into consideration, and you can populate when people are searching for Columbus. The reason for this is because for a marketing agency, people aren't coming into our office every week. They meet us for, an introductory meeting, maybe a kickoff meeting, and maybe on a quarterly basis, but they're not coming here. And by the way, a lot of meetings happen on Zoom, but they are not coming here on a day-to-day basis. Because of that, Google casts a wider net. So if somebody in Worthington or Gahanna is searching for Columbus Marketing Agency, even though we're 15, 20 miles away, because we're centrally located in the city, we're going to have a decent chance of populating on Google. And that's really helped from an SEO perspective. In 5 or 6 years ago, we moved our office from downtown to Gahanna, and our rankings on Google My Business tanked because we no longer had a Columbus address, and we were not centrally located in the city. After our keyword rankings tanked for moving to Gehanna, what I did was I waited out my year lease and then we moved back downtown. It took some time to, reestablish, but our local SEO rankings came back. That just shows the importance of the proximity. And I recorded an entire video on proximity and I'll link it in the description below. This isn't for all businesses. I'm really referring to service-based businesses where people might just go to their office on occasion. When it comes to a laundromat or a pizza restaurant, people are then looking for something nearby, or a dentist because you want to go somewhere close and you're going to be going there somewhat frequently. So those types of businesses do not cast such a wide radius. It is more, I would say almost like suburb based. It has a much tighter radius. And let me give you an example of this. So here I'm doing a search for Laundromat Columbus, and the search is being conducted from my office here in downtown Columbus. So Google's obviously taking the IP address into consideration. Obviously, there are 3 businesses that are populating here. None of these laundromats are outside of a 5-mile radius of where my search is being conducted. So Google is knowing that they are looking for proximity-based businesses based on the business type. So if you're a service-based business like a marketing agency or a law firm or a CPA firm, being centrally located in the city and having the city name like Columbus is very important. If you're more of a business type that customers are coming to more frequently, Google is just going to take more into account proximity-based, really at like the suburb level or the locale of where the search is being conducted. The primary and secondary category are one of the biggest ranking factors when it comes to Google My Business. So let me explain this to you. So again, if you're on your, just trying to edit your profile and you go to the business category and you click on this, you'll see that marketing agency, is listed as the primary category. And then we have graphic designer, web designer, advertising agency, internet marketing service as the secondary category. So you can edit your business categories. So, we do marketing, obviously. We do SEO, PPC, social media, email marketing, and we also do web design. And a web designer is another category. So how we came about choosing marketing agency as our primary category is based off of the financials of our business. Probably 65 to 70% of our revenue comes in from the marketing side of our business. It is more profitable because our clients are on a retainer basis, whereas for web design, they are one-off projects. So in deciding, I told you how important that primary category was. Obviously, I would love more web design projects. And by picking web design as a primary category, that would help me. But ultimately, the decision came down to I would rather rank when people are searching for marketing related queries because it's more profitable, more lucrative for our business. So when you are choosing between the primary and secondary category, take your business objectives into consideration when making that decision. Your website plays a really big role in terms of your Google My Business rankings. Let me explain this to you. For the Media Captain, and right now I'm with an SEMrush, we have an authority score of 31, which is pretty good for a local business. It's ahead of the majority of our competitors because we've been around for 13 years. We have more backlinks, more quality backlinks, so we have more authority. Google takes into account the authority of your website. That is a ranking factor for Google My Business. So if you just have a brand new website and you're trying all of these Google My Business optimization tactics that I'm going through, keep in mind, you might not see results until your website gets more authority. How do you do that? Acquiring more quality backlinks. And I'll link in the description to a blog that I wrote on how to acquire those high quality backlinks. Another thing that impacts your Google My Business ranking is the destination URL that you select within the Google My Business page. So a lot of people make the mistake where they, let's say you have 5 or 7 locations and they just put the home page as the destination URL within Google My Business. What you really want to do is be building out rich location-specific pages. So for a client of ours, Ability Chiropractic, Dublin, Ohio is a suburb, and so they have a location page, and you can see that not only do they have a location page, there is a lot of rich content on this page. And then that is something that Google likes when you have the destination URL as a location-specific page. So they're reading content on the page about your office in Dublin. That is helpful from a ranking perspective. So make sure to take that into consideration when it comes to your website and how that correlates with Google My Business. It is important to note that if you only have one location, it's perfectly fine linking to your homepage, and you should. What I was referencing beforehand is if you have numerous locations on each of those different locations linking out to a location-specific page. So I just wanted to reiterate that. 90% of consumers turn to online reviews before making a purchasing decision. Let that sink in. 90% of online consumers turn to reviews before making a purchasing decision. So reviews are very important. It is one of the most prominent things when it comes to your Google My Business profile. Those yellow stars, they just really pop. It grabs people's attention. So you want to be getting reviews. When I do a search for Columbus dermatologist, you'll see that Downtown Dermatology has 123 reviews. Dr. Sherry Hicks has 32. Dr. Kelly H. Tyler has none. So at this point, my mind is going towards, all right, well, Downtown Dermatology, they see a lot of patients. They have 123, but their star rating is a 4.2. I might want a doctor that, seems not as busy and has a higher rating. So you can see how my thought process works when I'm doing that search. The more reviews that you have, the better. And obviously you want these to be legitimate, and you want your customers to write very detailed experiences so people can read upon this and make an informed decision. In terms of getting online reviews, you have to be proactive. The biggest mistake we see for our clients is they just think, good reviews are going to happen naturally. That's not how it works. We use GatherUp as a software that sends out text message and email notifications, and I'll put that in the description. But GatherUp is a great software if you're at scale. Like if you're a plumber and you're seeing 10 to 15 customers per day, having a software like that is really good. If you're a marketing agency like ours, we might only ask for 5 to 7 reviews per month, and that can be done manually. I'll show you here in a second how to grab the review URL. All right, so again, in Google, I did a search for the Media Captain. You can see read reviews. A lot of people don't realize where it is to grab the review URL. You click this drop down, and you then click ask for reviews, and that is going to give you a review link. You can copy and paste that, and you can put it into an email that you send off to customers after they had a good experience. Be proactive. If you get 2 reviews per month, that's 24 per year. In 5 years, you're going to have over 100 reviews. So it's just something that you have to continuously be proactive with, and that's going to help from a Google My Business perspective. When it comes to photos, a lot of people click into the business profile and they look at photos to gauge the legitimacy of the business. They want to look at the facility where you're located. They want to see the staff that's present for your company. So you definitely want to have photos on your Google Business profile. For the Media Captain, we have a nice camera, so every now and then we'll take pictures and we'll upload those to our Google Business profile to keep those current. So this is my business partner who happens to be my sister. We like the personality, and so we want to showcase that. As you're scrolling through here, this is our conference room. This is an outside picture of our office. That's me in an awkward pose. Here's another conference room in our office. So we're just kind of, and even going down, we then have pictures of our team, our team in action. So we want to give a glimpse of what our agency is all about. We want to showcase that personality, and that's done through images. So if you have not updated photos in 5 years, or they're not good photos, sometimes it might just be a crappy street view photo of your office that's populating on Google My Business. Definitely invest in, whether it's a local photographer or you have a camera, take good pictures, even on your cell phone, because that can really help from a Google My Business perspective. I wouldn't say this is a top optimization hack. This isn't going to get you ranking in the local pack the next day once you add new photos, but it is a value add to your Google My Business page. Earlier, I talked about the primary versus secondary category. With the primary and secondary category, it's only Google's pre-filled options that you can select. So it's not going to have all of your services. I'm going to walk you through something that's pretty important from an optimization standpoint. So within your Google business profile, you can click on edit services. What is kind of crazy about this is that Google scans content on your website and they then put it into the list of services. So you want to monitor this because you might have written a blog and it's not really a service that you offer of what they've scanned, and they'll pull it in there. So for instance, they're saying we do we do mass email and that we do newspaper advertisements in video production. That's not really something that we focus in. So you should go into this. You can edit this list, and you can remove. Let's just say product photography. We didn't want. It isn't something that we really specialize in. You can remove that, and you should remove it. So Google is getting the best barometer of the services that you offer. I'm going to discard that change for right now. The other thing when it comes to editing the services is you'll see that these are all the ones that Google's pulling in based off of what's kind of on your website and what they think you do. The other thing that you could do is you can, let me see here, sorry. You can edit services, and if you go down, you can add a custom service, and you can start adding all of the services that might not be pulling in automatically. I highly recommend let's just say Facebook advertising wasn't pulling in, and that's something that we do. You can add that in there, and that's something that I highly recommend. So monitoring your services and then adding ones that you don't see can be very beneficial. So Google really knows exactly what you do. All right, so let's just go through the business information. A lot of this stuff we already covered, but I'm just going to go through this list because it will be a good refresher, and you'll learn a thing or two as I go through here. So the business name, the Media Captain, you want that to be your legitimate business name. You don't want to keyword stuff anymore. The business category, the primary, it's so important for the primary versus the secondary. The description, we haven't hit on this, but you want a good business description. Just tell people what your business is all about. This isn't a huge ranking factor, but again, it's a value add to have that. The open date, this is something a lot of people miss. It tells people how long you've been in business, but what's great about this is it pulls into the local pack, and it will say Media Captain, 10 plus years in business. This is very important because it's just a unique selling proposition that can pull into your Google business profile. The phone number. Phone number is, you obviously want the right phone number. One thing to note is that if you have multiple locations, and I recorded a video on opening multiple Google My Business locations. If you have multiple locations, you want a different number for each location. So just something to keep in mind, but definitely have the phone number. The website, make sure it's like HTTPS and the correct version. Here's the short name, the address. We're at 394 East Town Street. I don't put a service area within here because Google knows where I'm located, and they're going to pull based off of proximity of our location. If you are a service-based business, and let's say you don't want people coming to your physical address, then you can add in service areas. Like you could say, I service, let's say you're a lawn care company and you only want to service the suburbs of Dublin and Westerville. You can select those service areas. For the Media Captain, I don't do that. The business hours, that is important. You want people to know when you're open. You want this to be legitimate. If somebody is calling into your office and nobody is picking up, somebody can report you that the business hours are illegitimate, and Google can kind of ding you there. So just put the proper business hours on there. Google obviously will show businesses that are open within the local pack, so you want to have your business hours on there. For holiday hours, it's good to put this on here. If you're closed on Memorial Day, Labor Day, July 4th, you don't want people calling into your business when you're not there. So that's just a good customer service experience. And, there are some other things within here, such as amenities, crowd planning. I'm not going to get into that right now because I want to really just hit on what the most important optimization tactics for Google My Business are, and I think I've done that so far. Whew. All right, I'm going to take a deep breath. That was a lot of Google My Business information. Hopefully going through all of the steps of how to optimize your Google My Business page, along with different critical thinking items that you might not have thought about, will help you succeed from a Google My Business perspective. If you ever have any questions on local SEO, you can always contact me at themediacaptain.com. My name is Jason Parks. I hope you've enjoyed the video.